Welcome back to the channel, guys. We just finished watching Wrestlemania Night 1. The word of the day is stupendous.
Please stop saying that. God.
It was said at least 43 times today.
I don't get it. I don't.
But overall, a really great time for Night 1. We'll go ahead and start with the first match. It was the Usos versus Shinsuke and Rick Boogs. Rick Boogs' entrance with Shinsuke, absolutely amazing. Pat McAfee dancing on the table, absolutely insane. There was a minor, little mishap during the match. Rick Boogs got himself hurt carrying the Usos. So we were giving stars for matches, but I don't think we're gonna rate this one. Injuries happen. Speedy recovery to Rick Boogs. But the match ended with the Usos winning.
No, screw that. I'll give it a ranking. I'll give it a ranking of 2 out of 5.
2 out of 5?
2 out of 5.
All right.
Who is this Rick Boogs guy? I don't watch wrestling, so I'm not. This is his department. So is this guy basically just supposed to be a jacked up Freddie Mercury? Because that's exactly what he looks like.
No. So Rick Boogs is literally, I don't know if you had followed WWE a little farther back.
Of course I didn't.
But do you know Elias? Elias, he was doing the guitar and everything.
Oh, the guy, the one that looked like a jacked up Jesus.
Yes. So basically, Rick Boogs was basically just a different version. He initially was signed up to WWE just for playing the guitar.
Whatever happened to that guy, actually?
They haven't shown him in a minute. Yeah. But, Rick Boogs is literally just was initially just Shinsuke's kind of bodyguard who just happened to play, for his entrance. But he turned into a big thing. He got pops. So speedy recovery time, 2.5 out of 5. Is that what you said?
I said 2 out of 5.
All right, 2 out of 5 for a match for Chandler.
I don't care if he gets hurt. I don't care if he gets hurt. I'm gonna judge him same as everyone else.
All right, so we're gonna go on little thing throughout the whole entire night. Pat McAfee is brilliant.
Pat McAfee might be the only reason why I enjoyed the commentary at all. He's the only thing about the commentary I enjoy. We'll get to the other, because they kept switching between him and another guy we're like one team, and then they would switch to this other group of 3 guys who suck.
Yep. All right, so then we go on to the next match, which was really I was genuinely surprised how much I liked this match. It was Happy Corbin and Drew McIntyre.
Oh, the very tall pitbull looking guy.
Yep.
Against the knockoff Braveheart.
Hey, it was a good match. It was better than a decent match, but it wasn't a good match. That's what I meant to say. Because Baron Corbin or Happy Corbin or Sad Corbin, Bro Corbin.
Yeah, that promo that they played before the match, I could not stop laughing at it.
He doesn't have any bad matches.
My favorite, I don't know why, but my favorite part was he's laying on the ground and he's got a stain on his shirt that said, "Where'd the stain come from?" I had a can of beans, but I didn't have a can opener, so I just banged it on the ground and it got all over my shirt. I thought that was just absolutely hilarious.
It was a very hard-hitting match too. Also, Drew McIntyre did this insane flip with him being that size, where he jumped over the top rope, and I thought he had hurt himself. But he was okay. At least he looked like he was okay. And we had a distraction minor finish with Drew McIntyre winning. We knew it was going to happen. That was the first time that somebody actually kicked out of the end of days. So that was a record. It had been over, 4 or 5 years since Corbin came in WWE, since anybody had taken it and done anything besides get the pin.
Let me just say, if you've seen us yawn or just close our eyes, try to stay awake, it's because this freaking show lasted 4.5 hours. Seriously, they split it up into 2 nights. And it still has to be 4.5 hours?
Well, it was bound to happen if That's what WWE does. For me, for this match, I would give it a 3. I'd give it a 3 simply for the fact that the match was decent, and there were the little distractions worked from what's his name, Madcap Moss. So they worked very well.
I like that guy's shoes and his socks. That's the only thing I remember from this match. I thought this match was completely forgettable to me. I give it a 2.
2? Alright, bet. Okay, so the next match we go on to is Rey Mysterio and Dominik, his son, versus The Miz and Logan Paul. Alright.
Or as I call it, Logan Paul and Johnny Cage versus a father and a son.
So basically, from the entrance, both entrances from both tag teams was something else. Rey Mysterio's with his son was beautiful because it was a tribute to Eddie. Actually, Dominik was wearing a full-on, was it a flag?
United States of America flag.
And it dates back to Eddie. Eddie had worn something like that forever ago, and Rey was wearing a full Mexican, attire as well. And then Logan Paul came out and
he stole Uma Thurman's pants from Kill Bill because he was definitely wearing Kill Bill pants.
Yep.
I'm the movie guy, so I noticed this kind of stuff. But.
And he was wearing a Pikachu.
Oh, the card.
Limited,
or whatever, right?
yeah, limited card around. So, anyways, from the jump, before we even get into the match or anything, Logan Paul is 100% a natural born heel. That he was made for this. This is his calling.
I mean, people hate him, so you might as well revel in it.
Yep. He's definitely a decent wrestler. In the ring.
He's alright. I mean, he did better than, I guess, I'd say he did better than, who was that guy that did last year, or the Royal Rumble that we watched?
Was it Bad Bunny?
Yeah, that's stupid little shit. Yeah.
Bad Bunny was good, though.
I don't care that 105-pound pimp squeak got in there with 250-pound monsters and he's throwing them around like that. That I call BS on that. Yeah, no.
But anyways, we'll skip back to the match. The match had some solid spots. There were a good number of spots where I didn't think they would have been able to do with Logan Paul being that big and me not realizing that he was he could somewhat wrestle. He's pretty athletic actually, whenever it comes to that. So
I mean, out of all 4 of them, Logan Paul's easily the best athlete.
Yeah, I mean he was in the best shape too.
Yeah, and in the best shape.
Yeah. So for me, it was very well executed. Overall, was pretty enjoyable to watch. For me, definitely, I would say it's a 3-star match for me. Just for the fact that they executed it very well. It was very well planned, and everything that they wanted it done, there was no botches. So everything that they wanted done was done, and the little turn at the end was beautiful too.
I think there was a botch. I just didn't notice. For myself, I just can't believe that it was a celebrity match and there was no botch. I'll give it 2.5.
2.5, gotcha. And the Miz turn actually got a huge pop from the crowd because they hate him that much.
They hate Logan Paul more than and they hate the Miz.
Yeah.
I mean, they're both heels, but everyone and their mom hates Logan Paul.
All right, and just quick little side note before we get on to the next match. Big shouts to WWE for having more diversity with their refs. She was African American and female, so that was mad cool to see that. I hadn't seen that ever, so that's pretty cool. All right, so the next match was Becky Lynch versus Bianca Belair.
There we go. Now this is I actually enjoyed this one.
Yep.
I don't really follow either of these two. Didn't really care for either one of them, but boy, this match was good.
It was a good match. It was a really good match. But before we get to that, I do have to say, Bianca's entrance was great.
Which one's Bianca?
The black girl. Yeah.
Oh yeah, she had the marching band for I think it's Southern Texas University, South Texas
Yeah.
University. I don't know. It's an HBCU.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool. They did
Yeah.
a full like little performance. Then she came out. That was pretty cool.
Yeah. And then whenever the match got started, it started off actually really slow. Like
I thought it started off pretty fast.
fast.
That, I mean, she hit that. I don't know what she calls it, but it was really just a rock bottom.
Yeah, just the rock bottom. But like after that, like it was very slow progression too.
Oh yeah, kind of
Yeah. And then so for me, the match was great. It was pretty good actually. And the only thing is, I just felt like it went a little longer than it was supposed to, because as soon as it got to the midpoint, that's whenever everything fully kicked off. They executed every single move they had in their arsenal against each other.
So yeah, me and you just agree on that one. I still think, I thought it was perfectly paced. I thought it went on just right amount of time. It kept my attention. This was like the first match of the night where I wasn't constantly looking at my phone waiting for it to be over. I was actually focused, zoomed in on it. I don't think I looked at my phone once during this match.
It was very hard hitting too. I hadn't seen in a minute actually a WWE match where both women were executing to that point, like where they were hitting real hard. Yeah, it's been a minute. I don't regularly watch Raw or SmackDown like constantly now, but like it's been a minute for me, maybe like 4 or 5 months.
Well, I used to watch mainly like when I was younger, like during when Stone Cold and Steve Austin, who we're going to talk about later, and The Rock and Undertaker and them and John Cena, and that's when I was watching. But one thing I liked about this match is you could have put this match in any era and it would still be just as good.
Yep.
It would still work. Like if you put this during the Attitude Era, it still would have been a great match.
Yep, it was a good match. And Bianca gets the win. And she becomes the new champion. And
you could see that coming from the promo.
Yep.
Beginning of the match.
Yep. But I mean, very well executed. Overall, for me, this is the first one of the night. 4-star match.
I go with 4 stars too.
So the next match is Seth Rollins versus American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. We have a return. We have the grand entrance that is taking forever.
Yeah, they really gave like a slow burn to build anticipation, even though everyone in the arena knew who it was going to be.
Yep. And
they were literally chanting his name as soon as what's his name? Seth Rollins' music stopped. Yeah, as soon as he made his entrance and the music stopped and he's waiting in the ring, they're literally chanting Cody, Cody, Cody. So it's like the 2 Spider-Men showing up in No Way Home. Everyone knew it was gonna happen, but like when it finally happens, the whole crowd just went wow.
Yep. And I'm not even gonna lie, even though I knew it was gonna happen too, totally freaked out. Because I can't help it, I get excited. So I was very pumped. The pop was actually really insane. From just the music playing to finally seeing the crowd had more energy whenever they saw him. So he gets into the ring, does the grand entrance and everything.
Which I thought took a little bit too long. Like I hate it when these people walk to the ring so slow and look in the audience and just like take it all in. I'm just like, just get in the ring and get this over with. This is already like 30 minutes past schedule. Come on, hurry up.
So, anyways, very good start to the match. From the jump, they have really good chemistry, so they must have been practicing a little bit.
Yeah, you can tell they're practicing because I thought this looked very choreographed. What?
Yeah,
word?
choreographed.
Choreographed, really, like too much. And I thought like the son of the plumber was really laying it on thick, like playing with the crowd a little bit too much. Because you take one look at this guy, he looks like a serial killer, especially with that stupid ass tattoo on his neck. I'm sorry, I have to cuss when I see that stupid tattoo.
But so we're getting into the match, and there's a spot halfway through, well, really more towards the beginning of the match, where suplex comes from Cody, and it goes onto the outside of the ring rope where they both fall out. It was a very good spot, very well executed. No injuries happened during that. A lot of injuries tend to happen during those little spots. Then we got on to Seth Rollins. Whenever they get back inside the ring, he's beating the crap out of Cody, and he goes, "Welcome back to the big leagues, bitch." And it was fucking amazing, bro.
Oh.
I was fucking pumped. I was like, yo.
Why is it like, I swear, these wrestlers just love the B word, because literally every match you could hear them saying it to each other, and I'm just like, is this the other word of the day besides stupendous?
Well, whenever it comes to WWE particularly, I've noticed that they don't tend to cuss a lot.
Well, they
but
can.
whenever they do, yeah,
It's for kids.
Yeah, it's for kids.
They call this the PG
but when
era.
they do, when they do, that's the only word that they use, and they only use it during big pay-per-view.
Yeah, I could have sworn last year when we watched WrestleMania, they were using the B word again, even more. Like, why is it like, they're even mouthing it to each other. Like, I don't get it. Like, are you just like that awful with your words? You just have to use the same word over and over again. You can't say asshole. Maybe
it is what it is whenever it comes to that. But I really had to talk about this halfway through. We're gonna pause on the match for now, okay? We get to the outside and we get to the power bomb, okay? And all I see is something green. I see Corey Graves dressed in green, okay? Dressed like the Riddler, basically. He is basically dressed like the Riddler. And not a good version of the Riddler either. Okay? It's the worst version of the Riddler. We already don't want to see him on commentary. For him to be dressed like that.
Who is this guy's name?
Corey Graves.
Gosh, this guy made every match almost insufferable. I really wanted to listen or watch the matches on mute because of this guy. I don't know why is he, how does he have a job? Like, I grew up on JR and Jerry the King Lawler. Now, you talk about two goats. Them. And you look at Pat McAfee, who was literally just an NFL punter. And he comes in and he's the best commentator in the entire business. Like, I wish that he was commentating the entire time, like all through WrestleMania. Because the Riddler sucks.
That's what we're going to refer to him as. We don't even need to say his name.
Honestly, he looks like the Hamburglar. That's awful.
Yeah.
And the other guy, who was the other guy? There was three of them. Riddler was on the left, and the one that was on the right, not the one in the middle,
No,
was
wearing in red.
Was wearing one of the worst prom date suits I've ever seen in my life. Like, I don't know what is it with these wrestlers, they don't know how to dress right.
It was awful, man. But we get back, and so there's a power bomb to the barricade that Seth Rollins gave to Cody, which
that seemed to like open up. Like, that's when I first noticed the crowd really wake up to this match, because that's when everyone was standing on their feet after that.
Yep. And it was very well executed, and yeah, I mean, very hard hitting match. And then so he doesn't have the background on this, and I definitely do whenever it comes to Cody going to AEW and then coming back with the whole like almost heel but not actually heel, basically oblivious to him being a heel.
I actually know more about his brother because he was like more big during the Attitude Era, because that's when I watched.
Yeah. So basically the crowd is literally telling Cody that they want him to turn heel, and he refuses to acknowledge that. So he's basically playing the good guy, but also he's playing the heel as well.
The thing is, he looks like a total prick. I mean, it's like he's got what looks like fake blonde hair, combed back. He's got a tattoo on his neck, and honestly, the way he walks, he kind of walks with a swagger, like he could be a cocky guy.
Oh, I do want to give a little shout out to WWE for using the tattoo as the little logo right before they did his entrance. Very well played. They already know that people make memes and stuff out of the tattoo, and they already dislike it. So might as well play with it.
I swear, if I was Vince McMahon, I would have had like a clause in his contract's like, yeah, you can wrestle for me, and you can make a lot of money, but you gotta get rid of that stupid thing on your neck.
So then we get to let me see, the pedigree teaser from Cody. As I said, he was teasing becoming a heel, becoming bigger than he already is. So he'd been teasing for the longest time in AEW that he was basically becoming Triple H 2.0. So for him to tease the pedigree and then to take the pedigree from Seth Rollins and to kick out was a very nice touch. He ended up making, whenever he was trying to do the pedigree and turned it into a Tiger Driver, I think 99,000. It's basically turned it into a powerbomb from there. And then from there, let me see, Cody kicked out of that pedigree and then delivered two crossroads to Seth Rollins.
Then he paid homage to his dad with the punches and then the elbow.
Yep.
I don't know what the heck they called it when I used to watch Dusty Rhodes or old Dusty Rhodes matches with my dad.
Yeah.
It was just punch, elbow. I don't think they had a real name for it.
Gotcha. Also, before we get into the final finish, there was an insane cutter that he dived from the rope.
That's the thing that looks like an RKO.
Yeah, it was great, man.
That had me excited. I had me going, whoo, because I love seeing a move like that being executed perfectly because you don't really see that a lot whenever I do watch this WWE kind of stuff. But like, that was a perfectly executed move.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would have been okay if the match had just ended there with that because that was just so perfect.
Yep. And then right after, basically after the two crossroads and the deliver, of the elbow and everything, there was another crossroads, and 1, 2, 3, Cody wins. Want a big shout out to Seth Rollins for having an insane showing the whole entire match. Like, it wasn't just one of them that carried it, but he had a really great showing. Okay, so the match delivered. As far as the hype and everything, for me, it definitely delivered. How about you?
I didn't really have any hype, but I really loved this match. It was kind of a slow burn. Took a minute for it to really get going, pick up speed. But when it finally did, I was totally invested in it, and I'd give it a 4 stars out of 5.
4 stars. For me, 4.5. I really like Cody, so 4.5. All right. So
what's his nickname? His dad was the American Dream. What is he?
The American Nightmare.
Oh, that's stupid.
All right. So the next thing, a little shout out to the Hall of Fame class. Showcase was a nice touch, and then we got to The Undertaker, had a separate showing from everybody else.
As he should.
Yep. He's been there forever, so it was about time, anyways. But all right. So Mark Calloway as The Undertaker gets his tribute. Every single time he entered, he basically has his entrance into the ring. I don't know. I always get chills. I can't help it. So it was really good. Fans got into it. Next thing. So it was Charlotte versus Ronda next. Ronda Rousey. But so with this match, don't disagree. With this match, it was very hard hitting. Especially with Ronda Rousey being the other person in the ring. Charlotte's a pretty good wrestler. Crowd was dead at the beginning due to the fact that we had literally 2 back-to-back matches with Bianca and Becky where they were going crazy, and then they really got into it whenever Seth Rollins and Cody went into it, and then they were absolutely insane even whenever Undertaker and everything. So the crowd was dead at the beginning, not even gonna lie, but over time they grew into it with the spots that they had. Ronda, you could tell, is a better overall wrestler, with her having been gone for that long. So you could tell there are some moves that she's incorporated, new moves that she's incorporated. So about halfway through the match, I'm not fully paying attention, but Pat McAfee makes the match for you. Okay.
Oh man, I forgot he was. Yes, I loved Pat McAfee during this match.
He really keeps you invested into the match, and then we get into a submission fest where Ronda Rousey and Charlotte are going back and forth trying to submit each other, It's very well executed. It actually didn't fully look choreographed because there are some that didn't fully get executed like immediately. So you could tell they were having fun with it. But overall, like very well done. Match, as I said, gets better halfway through, and Charlotte wins, but
It isn't clean.
no, it's not clean. So the ref gets hurt, gets hit, and basically is down, and Ronda submits Charlotte, but the ref doesn't see it, and basically as soon as the ref gets back up from Ronda picking him up, Charlotte kicks her in the face, and that's the 1, 2, 3. Would have liked for it to at least been a better move, like than just a kick to the face.
It's just further showing that Ronda Rousey has a weak jaw.
So basically, for me, initially, I hated the fact that it ended like that. But whenever you take a look at it from the bigger perspective, Ronda Rousey hasn't lost a match. Like, not actually. Not
clean.
Not clean or anything like that. So
what about the main event a few years ago? You don't count
she
that?
didn't get pinned. So like it's one of those things. Yeah. So
yeah, you like this match?
it was pretty good.
I didn't. Honestly, I think that Ronda Rousey's just okay in the ring. Her main move is the judo throw, which I got really tired of seeing. And then all the submissions, I got tired of them going for the submissions. I wanted to see some like slams and some actual wrestling. But I mean, that would have made much more sense if it was a submission match, to be honest. But one thing we didn't get to see was Charlotte's was her backflip off the top.
Yeah. That's also because they don't think that Ronda would be able to.
She's definitely not big enough to catch her because Ronda's quite tiny compared to Charlotte.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, you could have a cameraman there too or something like that. You can make your way, you can cheat around it.
But yeah, I mean, overall for me, it wasn't a great match or nothing, but it was a good match. Okay, it was better than I expected it to be.
What do you give it?
A 3.5.
I give it a 2.
2. Okay. All right. So next thing, let's go.
Oh, next is the real reason why I came to watch this.
So before we get into it, it's the Kevin Owens show because it's strictly the segment for now, and we get a great promo from Owens because Kevin Owens doesn't deliver bad promos. He's good at promos. He's actually really good at promos. And then halfway through, him basically ranting, talking about Stone Cold, talking about the state of Texas. Stone Cold comes in, insane pop from the crowd. The crowd goes absolutely wild. This man goes absolutely wild. He's so pumped. Then basically, they get into the ring. Stone Cold kicks down to Kevin Owens, a little billboard, for the show and everything.
Basically clears the ring. Now all that's left is 2 desk chairs.
Yep. And then both of them are playing the crowd very well while talking to each other, executing this very well. And then Stone Cold is letting him have it. As soon as Stone Cold sits down, he is letting Kevin Owens have it.
If there's one thing Stone Cold can do, it's talk.
Yep.
He's still got it.
Yep.
And I loved every single second of it. I mean, this is my childhood idol. This is the man. I used to pretend to do that with the beers, but instead it was like Cokes, and I really suck when it goes up my nose. But I don't know how he does it. But I love Stone Cold. He's easily my favorite of all time. I say he's the GOAT. I don't care. You say, who do you say is the GOAT?
For me personally, it's Jericho.
Yeah, no, not me. Stone Cold all the way. No one sold more. No one performed better. It's Stone Cold. No one has ever gotten a pop like Stone Cold.
Well, here's my reason why. Before we get into the rest of this segment,
I say Stone Cold's worst pop is most wrestlers today' biggest pop of their career.
That is true. I'll give you that. The reason why I say Chris Jericho is the GOAT for me is how do you get a piece of paper, okay, bigger pops than any wrestler.
How do you get a piece of paper over like you did?
Yeah. Okay, the list of Jericho is synonymous.
Stone Cold Steve Austin got the word what?
That is
over.
true. He did get the word what. I'll give you that. But yeah, that's my goat. Let's get back into the segment. So basically, Stone Cold's letting him have it, and Kevin Owens is very well playing the role of the villain. He's playing the role of the villain very well, and he's executing as well. He's basically baiting Stone Cold into the match, and it was very well done. I thought it was going to be for night 2, actually. He was hoping for night 1 since he won't be here to watch that. So we kind of both went a little crazy whenever he said tonight. So, it happened. It's now Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold. And as soon as it was announced, there was an insane pop. Then as soon as the bell rings and they're looking at each other, it's an insane pop. Big shouts to Kevin Owens for selling so well too during the match. Sold very well. Made Stone Cold look like he still has it, and to a certain extent, yeah, he definitely still has it.
Well, he started off moving real slow. Like I think one of the promos that Kevin Owens was cutting is like he was saying that Stone Cold's too old.
Mm-hmm.
He's got a bad neck. He's got bad back. He's got bad knees. He can't do it no more. He's got nothing left in the tank. And then Stone Cold he was moving real slow at the beginning. I was like, oh, I hope the whole match isn't like this. But then Stone Cold takes one bump, and all of a sudden he's hopped up, moving fast, moving like he was back in 19 years ago against The Rock. And I loved every single second of this.
And they went for every single like big crowd like reaction. So at one point, Kevin Owens is trying to get on, was it the 4-wheeler?
That's a little. I wanted to highlight Stone Cold taking a suplex on
outside?
on the concrete. I was just like, dang, he really did that.
Mm-hmm.
I loved
He also put Kevin Owens through a table too.
Oh yeah, he did that too.
Mm-hmm.
That was pretty cool.
Yep. So we get back inside the ring. They're having their wrestling and everything.
Oh, we forgot to mention, Stone Cold was constantly getting beers and drinking them throughout the match. Like just grabbing a beer or two and just drinking it. And to the point where his shirt's just completely soaked. And we like to mention, the beer he's drinking is his very own Broken Skull American Lager, which I still have yet to try. I'm not a beer person, but I cannot wait to try it whenever us Southerners down here in Georgia can get it. It'd be really nice because I really want to try it.
Alright. So then we go into the freaking 4-wheeler thing where Kevin Owens doesn't know how to turn it on.
That was pretty hilarious. He was joking. Earlier he called it a golf cart too. I mean, you can tell like he's playing as like all Southerners ride 4-wheelers and look stupid doing it. And then he gets on it trying to start it up. He has no idea how to start it. And then it leads to Stone Cold literally driving him up the ramp on the 4-wheeler like
and then
Kevin Owens is his son. Like his son is, and just the face he's making.
Why is he freaking out during that? Like nothing is happening.
He thinks that he's going to drive him into the sign, I'm guessing. But it was hilarious. Didn't Kevin Owens jump off the WrestleMania sign a few years ago?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool. I remember seeing that on like Instagram. That was pretty cool. But like, I guess he was thinking that he was selling that, thinking that he's gonna go through the sign or something. He's selling, of course, but like, it was good.
Yeah, and then a couple punches here and there. Kevin Owens rolling down whenever he gets punched by Stone Cold, looking like a soccer player whenever they get hurt.
Yeah, he rolls like 5 feet for every punch.
And I like soccer, by the way. I want to give you guys a heads up. Soccer is my favorite sport, but me saying that, like, he was rolling a lot. So then I'm
a real American. My favorite sport is football. American football. Real football.
Yeah, they gotta know which one they're talking about. All right. So basically, the whole time they get back into the ring, they're wrestling, whatever, and then it's brilliant spot where Kevin Owens does the stunner to Stone Cold, and Stone Cold kicks out at 2. Kevin Owens totally freaking out. Goes outside the ring, gets the steel chair. Steel chair, he's about to hit Stone Cold with the steel chair.
Oh, I know where you're going.
Yep.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
And it's a perfect spot where Kevin Owens, and I don't know if it was on purpose. It looked like it was on purpose. Where Kevin Owens hits the steel chair onto the ropes and hits himself back in the head with it.
Bounces off the ropes and hits him back in the head,
Yep.
and I loved that. I saw that, I was just like, was that on purpose? What was that? That was the funniest thing I've seen all night. Oh, we forgot to mention
What?
Drew McIntyre cutting the ropes.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Oh, well.
We did. But
We don't have the production budget to go with that. Sorry. But anyway, yeah, he hits it, bounces right off, and it just like ricochets right into his head, and then
Stone Cold
stuns him with the Stone Cold Stunner, and I loved it. I loved it.
And Stone Cold gets the win. 1, 2, 3. And then basically Kevin leaves or whatever.
He gets stunned again. Beer poured down on him, and then I guess they were Texas Rangers. There were 2 cops wearing Stetsons. They dragged him out.
Yep.
And then what's the guy's name? The one with
the red.
Yeah. What did you say? Byron.
Byron Saxton.
Byron Saxton comes in the ring to celebrate with Stone Cold. They toast. Then he gets stunned.
Yeah.
Which I guess that was a callback to something else.
No. So basically, I'll go ahead and say it now. Everyone always wants the Riddler to get stunned. Always. In fact,
the Riddler is Corey
Graves.
Yeah.
So everyone always wants him to get hit. In fact, everyone wanted at WrestleMania for Pat McAfee to face Corey Graves.
I rather would have seen that than what we'll probably get.
Yeah. But anyways, at least one of them got it because they were wearing awful suits.
Also, I wanted Stone Cold to stop fighting for a minute and just look at Corey Graves and it's like, what the hell are you wearing, son? Like something like that.
But I'll go ahead and say this: Byron Saxton sold the crap out of that stunner. Okay, it was the best sell to the stunner I've seen in a while, and Kevin Owens regularly, hands him out. So, anyways, overall, WrestleMania was a stupendous time. I had to, man. Tomorrow, you're not even going to be here, and I'm going to deal with this stupendous second night of WrestleMania.
I just want to say this: a lot of these matches don't belong in a WrestleMania card. That's what I'm going to say. It's just like the first 2 matches of the night did not belong in a WrestleMania card, and a lot of the matches that are going to be going on tomorrow night, which we are about to get to, don't belong on a WrestleMania card. I think WrestleMania should be a one-night event, and it should be at least 2 to 3 hours long.
It's logical.
Not this 2-night, 4 hours each, 8 hour in total, extravagant, sluggish event. That's what it really is. It's a sluggish event because I checked my watch at least 20 times during this. Like, oh my gosh, how much longer is this going on? Because this just goes on forever.
I mean, we knew what we signed up for, really. Not this long, but we knew what we signed up for. But for me, overall, a good time, especially for night 1, being that the matches didn't have like huge names to it, not all of them. So overall, a good time.
We didn't rank the Stone Cold Steve Austin.
For me, I went with 3.5, just for the way that Kevin Owens was able to sell, the crowd reaction, and how much the crowd was into it.
I'm giving it a 5 out of 5, mainly because this is not a good match. People are gonna watch it years from now, and they're gonna see how bad it really was. But this is all like nostalgia and like the emotions of seeing Stone Cold again. Like especially for me, it was just like so enjoyable to watch. Like I don't care. I loved every single second of this, and I am not afraid to admit it. It's not a match, or it's not something I would ever go back and watch. But for what it is right now in the moment, I give it a 5 out of 5.
Okay, all right, that's fair. So that's it for WrestleMania Night 1. And we will catch you in the next video. Like and subscribe.
We're not gonna predict.